This is a blatant violation of ceasefire by Pakistan, and this is completely, they have gone back on their word for the second time in 2 days. So this is absolutely ridiculous. Because as we have been reporting, now we have got reports that there were raid streaks seen, there were explosions heard of Pakistani drones, droves of Pakistani drones were sent in, and there was blackout in Samba. And of course, now we are getting reports that there has been no drone activity observed for the past 15 minutes. Breaking story here, no drone activity observed for the past 15 minutes in Samba, Jammu and Kashmir. That's what we're getting. But the fact that is a different story. There may not be any drone activity now, but there was drone activity. There was explosions. Pakistanis have gone back on their promise. Pakistanis have gone back, violated the ceasefire for the second time in 2 days. Now, the big question is, whether there are rogue elements within the Pakistani army, whether the Pakistan army chief is in control or not, whether there is a coup in Pakistan. So these are questions. These are questions that are big questions at this point in time. Whether the Pakistani army, whether there is a coup, whether people are not listening to the Pakistani security establishment, whether Sabaz Sharif is in no control at all. These are questions that are being raised, obviously, because despite the ceasefire, despite President Trump claiming credit for the second day in a row, coming up and giving tweets and speaking publicly, despite that, we are hearing this kind of violations by Pakistan. So this is absolutely ridiculous, and this has raised serious questions about whether the Pakistani military establishment is in total control, whether Army Chief Asim Munir is in control, where is Asim Munir, whether there is a coup in Pakistan, whether Sabaz Sharif is in control or not. These are the questions we'll have to seek answers to.
Absolutely. And Wasbir, given the fact that the first round of the India-Pakistan DGMO level talks was also held earlier this evening, despite that, drones have been intercepted by the Indian air defense system. That just goes to show as to how seriously Pakistan actually takes this ceasefire.
Well, Pakistan is a country that cannot be trusted. That is what a lot of people have been saying. A lot of people have been saying. In fact, on the day of the ceasefire, I had three top commentators on my show, top very, very senior former defense officials. They were saying that India should not be euphoric. Nobody should celebrate the ceasefire, because there is no question of celebrating. The Prime Minister has made it very, very clear that Operation Sindoor has not been concluded. Operation Sindoor has only been suspended, and the Indian forces are on a higher alert. That message given by the Prime Minister has set it right. All those who have been saying that there should be a full-scale conflict, there should be a full-scale attacks going on. But then point is, India has made it very clear, the Prime Minister has made it very clear that Operation Sindoor has not been withdrawn. Operation Sindoor has only been suspended, and that Indian forces are ready for their next mission.
Right. Wasbir, we're getting in more breaking news at this point in time. So the army sources have said that comparatively very small number of drones have come in from the Samba sector, and they are being engaged, and there is nothing to be alarmed about. That is a big statement that has been made from army sources at this point in time, who have said that comparatively very small number of drones have come in from the Samba sector. They are being engaged, and there is nothing to be alarmed. So, Wasbir, just going by this statement from army sources, despite Pakistan blatantly violating the ceasefire once again, the Indian army and the Indian armed forces are completely ready as always, and they're not taking this ceasefire lightly.
Absolutely. There is no question of taking the ceasefire lightly. Indian armed forces are in readiness even at this point in time as we speak. The Prime Minister has made it very clear. The Operation Sindoor has not been withdrawn. Operation Sindoor has not been called off. It has only been suspended. And India is absolutely ready to face any eventuality if there is any misadventures like the one this time round. And in fact, whatever little drones that have come in should not have come in. That is the big point. Whether it is a big droves of drones, whether it is a few drones, that is not the point. But it should not have been coming in the first place, because that amounts to violation of the ceasefire which they have signed. They have agreed upon, the both countries, they have agreed upon on the 10th, and they had also been reinforced during the DGMO level talks that was concluded, that were held this evening between the DGMOs of India and Pakistan.
Absolutely, and of course, as we know that this fresh drone activity is being reported barely minutes after Prime Minister Modi concluded his historic address to the nation. So he has of course talked very tough on terror with Pakistan once again. Do you think that could have anything to do with this?
I will not hazard a guess right now because Pakistan has rogue elements within their military establishment. Whether this is the direct sanction of the Pakistani army, we have to wait and watch because Pakistan is actually a failed state. There is no hierarchy. The political leadership is absolutely unstable, and the army also has a lot of power centers. And whether Asim Munir, the military chief, is in control or not, that also the questions have arisen now. And as we have been reporting, a very small number of drones that come in the Samba sector, they are being engaged and there is nothing to be alarmed. That's what the army is saying. And after the first wave of drone activity and air defense fire, now no drone activity observed for the past 15 minutes in Samba. That's what we are getting. This was, of course, the news 5 minutes ago. It came in that after the first wave of drone activity and air defense fire from the Indian side, now no drone activity observed for the past 15 minutes. But earlier, about half an hour to 1 hour ago, there were raid streaks seen and explosion heard as Indian air defense intercepts Pakistani drones amid blackouts in Samba. That was the situation about an hour to 45 minutes ago. But right now, there is no drone activity. That's what we are getting from army sources and agencies.